Welcome to my workshop. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time up here today because I want to share with you today my digital organization strategy for cosplay photos, tutorials, social media stuff, con guesting stuff. I've been working on this organization for a couple years now and it's been working really well, and it's really simple too, so hopefully this can be useful for you. Let's get right to it.
Okay, so this is my Google Drive. This is where I keep and organize almost everything when it comes to cosplay media. Um, at the root here, I have just a couple of things that don't really fit anywhere else. My tracker for commissions and commission requests, and then some templates for emails that I send pretty often, or used to back when we had cons. And then I guess just go through each of these folders and show you like what I use them for. The archive is obviously just old stuff that I don't need anymore or use anymore. Judging packets, also self-explanatory. The packets that I've made for getting judged. I'd like to keep these forever because, they're logs of what I've done. Patterns and references is a little bit more. These are both patterns that I've bought, like from Kamui, and then patterns that I've made, like my mini shield patterns, and then also references that I've created myself. Most of these I'm not really going to go back to because I have this printed out in my binder, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a digital pack rat and that's why I have all of this here. These three are green because they're the ones that I go back to most often, so I just like to have them highlighted. So photos sorted. This is the thing that I think that everyone should do. Every single one of my costumes from when I very began has its own folder. And within that folder are the photos of that costume labeled with where it was taken and who took it. So, for my early costumes, they're fairly empty. But then you get into some of my bigger costumes, and it's a pretty substantial collection of photos. And like I said, each one of these is labeled with the photographer and the location where that photo was taken. The next folder is social media. This is like basically everything that I wouldn't have if I weren't doing social media stuff. So a giveaway tracker, that's just an Excel file. These two are PowerPoint presentations where the slide size is Instagram's square layout size and vertical layout size. So if I need to make a small post, like a collage like this, or a very small tutorial, like 2 or 3 pages, or something like this, where it's a little bit of graphic design or putting something together like this, then I will go to these slideshows. This one is mostly for making sure that I don't crop out my photographer's watermark. So I just add the gray borders just so that I don't, so that I'm not stealing from her, basically. This one is definitely more used for like graphic design type stuff and making collages and just putting things in the format that Instagram wants them to be in, right? And then this is a really wide header. I do all of my graphic design now in what is this, Google Slides. I really like it. It's obviously it's no InDesign, but you have lots of different options, and You don't have to pay for anything. So if you go to file, what am I trying to do? File download, you can download this as a PNG. And if you go to page setup, you can set a custom slide size. So you can just look up like what Instagram's square size is or what their vertical size is and put that in here. And that's how you'll get a canvas that's the right size for whatever you're trying to do. You'll see this in another folder as well, but I use these holding folders to hold posts that are going to go up soon. This just makes it easier to find it and download it on my phone so that I can post it from my phone, because you have to post to Instagram from your phone, not from your computer. So that's all that the holding folder is. It just, things go in there and then get deleted. This is the my intro video / highlight for Instagram. So these are just living here for now. And then this is cosplans. Really no reason to keep these either. I'm just, again, being a pack rat. Talks and workshops is just all of my talks in bullet point form. And then tutorials is my other kind of big one. Again, these are all made in Google Slides. And like obviously none of these are like beautiful graphic design or anything. Like there's nothing really professional about these. But I think it works really well. I would actually really recommend Google Slides for making little projects like this. I think I was using Canva for a long time, but they have some limitations that I was finally running into, and I decided to just make the switch. And one thing that I really love about Google Slides is that if you go to this like insert image, you can take from your drive or your photos. So I don't even have to download my photos anymore to put them into my tutorials. I take them straight from my drive or my photos. So yeah, there's all of my tutorials all together, and again, a holding folder here for the tutorial that's going up next. And then the final folder is just holding some videos. So that's my drive. I also wanted to show you later.com. This is what I use to schedule all of my posts. You'll see this little cute little Applejack artwork come up over and over. This is my placeholder image. So when I have this, for example, was a video, which you can't really use later for. This is a tutorial, which has lots of photos, and you can't use later for that either. So really the only time I use the photo upload is when it's a single photo. But even just having a place where I can write my post and then also set a time for my post. So tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. I will get a push notification with all of this text ready for me. And I'll just have to put the images in myself. I really like Later. I've been using it for probably years at this point. And yeah, I use it every week. Doesn't go back all the way, so I can't prove that to you, but yeah, I like it a lot. The final thing is Google Photos. Google Photos definitely takes a little bit more work to keep up with, but I have been using it as a work in progress collection for my past few projects, and it has been amazing. There are 300 photos in this in this Google Photos album. And so whenever I need any sort of work in progress photo for Draven or for Leona or for Jolteon, I know like these are all going to be together in this one folder by themselves. And then each tutorial I make gets one too. So that when I go to add photos to my tutorial, I have to go just straight to that one Google Photos album. And again, it does take some work to keep up with these. Like, I have to remember that when I take new Leona work in progress photos, I have to actually go and add them to this album. Otherwise, it's not worth anything. But at this point, it has proven itself useful so many times that it's gotten easier, to keep up with it. So I guess in conclusion, I'd say Google Drive is awesome for storing, collecting, and organizing, especially your photo shoot photos. I would say everyone should do this. Like, just having every photo sorted by year, properly labeled, not only with the character name, but also with the photographer's name. It's huge, right? It means that I'm never scrambling to credit my photographer. And then also I'd say if you are frequently doing any sort of collages or graphic designs, just try Google Slides. You may, if you have InDesign or something, then obviously you have a better solution already. But I've used InDesign and I like it a lot, and I'm still pretty happy with Google Slides. And then finally, if you can keep up with keeping a work in progress album for especially a big project or a competition project, I would really encourage you to try to do that, even though it definitely does take some effort.
So that's it. I am an organization fiend, so if you have anything that you think would be useful for me, any tips or something that works for you, I would love to hear it. Please let me know. And if you use anything that I've recommended, I'd love to hear about that too. I like being helpful. Do the thing. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and have a wonderful day.